Hello my friends, and welcome to Blountville, Tennessee, one of the oldest towns in the state of Tennessee. We are here at my newest listing, 3449 Blountville Highway. This house we're going to take a look at has an incredible history pertaining to the land it sits on. It goes back to the Civil War and even before. So we are going to take a look around, tell you some stories, and take a tour of the house. Let's go inside. I'm Daniel Shue, the Old House Agent. I'm a real estate agent, and I specialize in old and historic homes in Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee. I've dedicated my career to preserving these places while helping others discover the joy of owning a piece of our region's past. On this channel, you'll find restoration journeys, history, and honest insight into what it truly takes to bring old houses back to life. And I'm grateful to have you along for the adventure. On one of the oldest streets in historic Blountville, Tennessee, stands a home that has witnessed more history than most places ever will. Long before this house was constructed in 1908, this remarkable 0.78-acre property was already an important part of the community. An early hotel once stood here, welcoming travelers making their way through East Tennessee. Then, in September of 1863, the quiet rhythm of daily life was shattered as the Battle of Blountville swept through the town. Soldiers crossed this very ground, artillery echoed through the valley, and the landscape became part of one of East Tennessee's most significant Civil War engagements. Even today, after a heavy rain, local stories tell of artifacts occasionally emerging along the banks of Muddy Creek, a quiet reminder that history is never quite as far away as we imagine. We're here in the backyard, and not only is this a beautiful spot on the property where it's just calling for some lawn chairs and perhaps a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, but this is really where the stories are with this property. So what you have back here is this amazing creek that's running through here. It's quite beautiful, quite serene, but over 150 years ago, this was the exact spot of a Civil War battle, the Battle of Blountville. And my understanding is there were Union officers up on the hill, Confederate officers down here, and there was just absolute chaos right here in this valley. There were cannonballs flying everywhere, there were bullets, and it was quite dramatic. Now, the fascinating part about all that is this creek holds some historical artifacts. In fact, I've been told that there was a cannonball found in the creek just a few feet away. It's hard to tell what you might find if you come back here and bring a metal detector or do some excavation work. It might be pretty interesting. Today, the story continues inside a home that has been thoughtfully preserved while embracing the comforts of modern living. Offering 3 bedrooms, including a convenient main-level bedroom, and 2 full bathrooms, both located on the first floor, the home provides a practical floor plan without sacrificing its historic character. One of the bathrooms has been added more recently, blending modern conveniences with the timeless appeal of this early 20th century residence. What I appreciate most about this home is that it has never lost its identity. Too many historic houses have had their character stripped away in the name of modernization. Here, the original hardwood floors still tell the story of generations that have walked these halls. The beautifully crafted woodwork continues to showcase the skill of artisans from another era, while the original fireplaces remain the focal point of the rooms, just as they have for more than a century. Even the wallpaper feels less like decoration and more like a respectful tribute to the home's past. So the stories tell us that the original hotel was torn down shortly after the Civil War, and that a house was built here in the 1870s, and then it just kind of disappeared, and all of a sudden there was a house here in 1908. This house has a lot of features of a 1908 house, including the first floor mantels and flooring, but there's one strange thing at the top of the steps. The flooring changes here, and what I believe is that the 1870s house is here and it was just heavily remodeled in 1908. I believe the original staircase was probably more Italianate in construction and came up here with a small landing and turn. Then the flooring over here also changes from what we see downstairs. These are about 5-inch wide planks that fits in with the era a little better of the 1870s. And then coming into this room is another clue. This beautiful fireplace mantle here is completely different than the ones downstairs, and it matches pretty closely to the one across the hallway. Now to me this looks much earlier than the 1870s, but this is Blountville, and things were a little more primitive in certain areas back then. So I believe we are standing in the 1870s house, and that it was just remodeled in 1908. A lot of times the original construction date is skewed a bit because before 1920, especially in this area, permits weren't required as much. So later additions were labeled as the construction date. So likely there was an addition on here, a remodel, maybe the addition of the wraparound porch, and they just stamped 1908 on the construction, even though it was built before that. Recent improvements, including a newer roof, an updated HVAC system, and carefully considered renovations, mean the next owner can simply move in and begin writing the property's next chapter while preserving everything that makes it special. Beyond the home itself lies one of Tennessee's most historic communities. Blountville, founded in the late 18th century, remains one of the oldest towns in the state. Its historic courthouse, churches, and well-preserved buildings serve as lasting reminders of the generations that shaped this region, creating a community where history is still very much alive and part of everyday life. Whether you're searching for a place to call home, a connection to the past, or simply an opportunity to become the next steward of a truly remarkable property, this home offers far more than walls and roof. It offers a rare chance to live where history still lingers, where craftsmanship has endured, and where the next chapter is waiting to be written by you. Thank you so much for watching. If you love old houses as much as I do, then I invite you to follow along on all my platforms. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can follow along on Facebook for daily posts, and for a deep dive into history and real estate, you can subscribe to my newsletter. At theoldhouseagent.com, you're going to find valuable resources, regional history about Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee, plus all my current listings. All these likes, shares, and subscriptions to these videos help keep the stories of these places alive. I'm Daniel Shue, the Old House Agent, and I'll see you on the next video.